Perfect.
Good
That's what I was
morning,
looking for.
everybody. Thank you all for coming in this morning. We have Robert Davis presenting Physicians Mutual Medicare Supplement and Dental Plans. So I'm going to let you explain it.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So it is good to have everybody on. My name is Robert Davis. I'm the sales director for Physicians Mutual. Probably a lot of communication that you've been having with me and with our team has been through Heather Dozier. Me and Heather started working together 4 years ago, and she is amazing. You always need that person that can slow things down and really be able to answer very detailed questions. And Heather's amazing at that. Heather's amazing at that. My goal today is to kind of look at the broad picture of the Physicians Mutual portfolio. So I'm going to cover two of our core products. I'm going to be looking at our Medicare supplement and our dental. And what I will tell you about our portfolio here at Physicians Mutual is that it is distinct and it is different than almost anything else you're going to see in the industry. And because we're different, I think that makes us in many ways better. And so what I want to start with is I'm going to share my screen. We're going to walk through some slides together. I would encourage you that if you have questions, please stop me. I'm sure there's a chat functionality with this tool. So if you want to put it in chat, I'm sure Allison can help me because I'm not always the best at multitasking. My wife can tell you that. So I might not see it initially, but we can get to it. So just real quick, can everyone see my screen when it comes to the product availability map?
Yes.
Perfect. So I know the majority of the agents that I'm talking to today, y'all are right here in Illinois. The benefit there is that we have our newest portfolio when it comes to our Medicare supplements. We released a new block in that state right over a year ago. We call the block Physicians Select. If you're used to select Medicare supplements, it is not a select Medicare supplement. Medicare supplement select plans means there's a specific network. Our Medicare supplement is going to work where your clients can go anywhere in the nation, go to any hospital in the nation, and have coverage. Our Medicare supplements, like almost every Medicare supplement out there, isn't going to deal in the world of networks. We're not going to have to worry about things like prior authorization when it comes to Medicare supplements. Also in your state, we have our newest dental plan, which I'm really excited to talk to you about. So when we look at Medicare supplements, one of the first things I always like to say is that usually when we think about MedSups, we think about the concept that every carrier is offering the same plans, right? Every carrier is offering a G. Every carrier is offering, let's say, a high deductible G. Physicians Mutual is different and special because we have a patented Medicare supplement. In some states, it's going to be called the innovative plan. In some states, it's going to be called a hybrid plan. But we have been selling this product since 2008. What is really exciting about this product is this product has driven loss ratios down for us as a carrier. And so if you think about it, what drives rate increases? What drives rate increases on Medicare supplements is the loss ratio. In many states, our loss ratio for this product is around 44%. That's like half of what United Healthcare is sitting at right now. The loss ratio for United Healthcare in many states is all the way up to 88%. So you have a lot of Medicare supplement portfolios running really hot, as we would call it. From a carrier's perspective. And that's why you have some of the bigger carriers out there. Even, I don't know if anyone on this call sells Manhattan Life, but Manhattan Life starting in April is no longer going to be offering Medicare supplements, where we feel very strong that we are pushing through. So here's the big thing. What's exciting for the client when it comes to this patented product? And it's really that second bullet point you see on your screen. This plan has a disappearing deductible with a lifetime discount. So your clients are going to have full G benefits at a discount for life. On average, that's 25%, but in many states, we're seeing clients lock in a savings for a G plan that's anywhere between 30 to 40% on a G. So if you're trying to get your clients the best coverage possible long-term throughout their retirement, the Innovative G is definitely a place to start and at least explain to them the concept. So let's talk about that concept a little bit. So most carriers have a G, and most carriers have a high deductible G. We have both, and we have the Innovative G. So I just want to walk through this with you. And I know for some of you, this is going to be really elementary, but I want to start with talking about a Plan G. Then we'll talk about a high deductible G, and we'll end it talking about the benefit of an Innovative G. So Plan G, really simple. The concept is if a client gets a Plan G, again, they can go to any doctor, any hospital in the nation with no prior authorization. And all they have to worry about is the Part B deductible, which is this year's $257. Then jumping to the other extreme, we have the high deductible G plan. And I was in Vegas last week at an event called Medicarians where they had over 5,000 agents. I probably talked to close to 300 to 400 of them. And this was what was surprising to me. Most agents have heard of a high deductible G plan, but maybe don't really understand how it works. So I would challenge you to really lean in on this. So the base concept of a high deductible G plan is that they're going to pay the same Part B deductible of $257, but here's the big difference. Once they pay the $257, think of this as the annual deductible. Medicare is going to kick in, and Medicare is going to pay 80% of the bill and the client's going to pay 20% of the bill to a max out of pocket of $2,870. And then you have the Innovative G. So how does that work? Well, it's going to work just like a high deductible the year the client purchases. So let's say you go out tomorrow and you sell an Innovative G. So the rest of this year, 2025, they're going to have a max out of pocket where Medicare is going to pay 80, client's going to pay 20 to 2,870. They're going to have 2 more calendar years. What's going to happen on January 1st of 2028? Well, this plan is going to kick into a full G, but here's the benefit, okay? The client's locking in a lower premium. In many states, a Plan G is around 120, an Innovative G is in the 90s, high deductible G is in the 40s. And so your client is locking in a lower premium Innovative G for life. Okay, so they're going to get full G benefits for life because they're going to start with a disappearing deductible. Now, here's the thing. What scares people is this max out of pocket for 2 reasons. Number one is they think that with a max out of pocket, they have to pay that first. So if I have a high deductible G or if I have an Innovative G, what do I have to pay first? Well, I have to pay $2,870 every year out of pocket. Well, that's not the case. Medicare is going to pay 80. The client's going to pay 20 to the max out of pocket. And here's what's interesting. What percentage of people that are 65 do you think is going to hit this max out of pocket? If you were to just guess. Is it low? Is it high? What percentage of people will hit the max out of pocket in their first year? If you're thinking low, you're moving in the right direction. So the number is about 4%. Only 4% of people in year 1 will hit the max out of pocket. In years 2 to 3, it's only going to jump up to 6%. The question might be why? Why do so few people hit the max out of pocket initially? And a lot of it has to do with this. When you think about original Medicare, okay, original Medicare, the client has Part A, Part B. Hopefully you understand this, that Medicare sets the price points, okay? And so this is a really interesting tool. You can see this is a screenshot from Medicare.gov. This is what's called the procedure price lookup tool. I would encourage you, write this down after the call, go look this up. What's cool is you can type in any procedure you want, okay? And so you could type in a chest x-ray, okay? Do you know how much a chest x-ray cost on original Medicare? So the chest x-ray on original Medicare is $37. An MRI on your knee is $17. Now, you want to compare that to some copays on things like Medicare Advantage, you're probably looking at a chest x-ray being $200. So original Medicare sets pretty low price points. And if you think about it, with a high deductible or an innovative G, Medicare is paying 80% of that $37. So that's why so few people ever hit the max out of pocket. Now, that max out of pocket isn't going to last forever. The purpose of the max out of pocket is to get them a discounted rate for life on a full G. So how long is that elimination time frame? It depends on when the client starts the product. So worst case scenario, right? The good thing is no one's writing a January birthday right now or past that, right? So January birthdays are the worst case scenario because that would be a 3-year elimination time frame. Let's say you're sitting down with someone today that their birthday's in July. Well, they'd have 6 months left of this year plus 2 more calendar years. The elimination time frame is over, and they're locking in a discounted G for life. Not only that, but again, they're in a product where the loss ratio usually ranges between 44 to 55%. So that client can have lower rate increases for life. You look at some carriers right now, like Aetna, that in some states have a 25% rate increase. Woodman Life, I know in places in Nebraska and Iowa are doing a 20% rate increase this year. The big thing with Medicare supplements is I think we need to start thinking outside the box with Medicare supplements. If a client is going to go down the path of a Medicare supplement, how can we put them in a product where we can reduce their price point for life? Because here's the thing, a client that wants a Medicare supplement, do they just want a Medicare supplement at 65, 66, 67, 68? Or do they want a Medicare supplement with those benefits for life? They want it for the long term. And this product really gives that to them. Here's the final thing I will show you when it comes to the Innovative G to really just lock in the value. So let's say you're sitting down with twins. I always say twins. Why? Because if they're twins, what do they have? The same birthday. So let's say you're sitting down with twins and you're positioning a Medicare supplement and you show them the Innovative and you show them the Plan G. So the Innovative, and this is a rate based out of Nebraska, the Innovative is going to be about $94. The full Plan G is about $130. And so let's say you have one client choose the Innovative, one client choose the Plan G. The annual difference in that first year is about $439. So what's the difference? Well, this person has a max out of pocket. This person has an annual deductible of $257. But what happens at 68? Well, at 68, the elimination time frame is over. This plan is going to work like a full G. This plan is going to work like a full G. And what are they going to have? They're going to have a savings in that year alone of $523. But let's jump down to age 80. By time of age 80, what is the lifetime savings? The client that chose the Innovative G has now saved over $11,000 going with the Innovative G. Final thing I want you to do with Innovative G, and then I'll move on from this. I want you to write 3 things down for me. Because what I find out is that most agents, the concept is interesting, but they just don't know who to position the product with. And so let me give you 3 ideas on who to position this product for. Okay, so number 1, if you're sitting down with someone that is healthy, you should be positioning the Innovative G. And when I say healthy, that's very relative, right? Do I mean that they're a marathon runner? No. What I mean is if you ask them, how often do you go to the doctor? Well, I go to the doctor once or twice a year. Then the Innovative G is a great fit because what they can do is they can take advantage of their health right now to lock in over $11,000 in savings long term. Okay, so if they're healthy, they're a great fit. Now, the only pushback I ever get, and I understand this pushback, is that we just don't know what their health is going to look like a year from now or 2 years from now. And so we have this elimination time frame that we're dealing with. Here's the good news. Anytime during the elimination time frame, if their health changes, you can move them up to a full G without underwriting. So anytime during the elimination time frame, whether they're a July birthday and it's 2 years and 6 months frame, anytime during that, we can move them up to a full G without underwriting. Okay, so that's number one, healthy person. Number two, I don't know if you know this, 3 out of 4 Americans are currently on a high deductible plan. What does that mean? That means they have an annual deductible that ranges between $4,000 to $6,000. Then they have co-insurance, and then they have from $6,000 to $10,000. And so if the client currently has a high deductible plan, then this concept really works. Why? Because this is a high deductible plan for the first 3 years. But instead of having a $4,000 annual deductible, what's their annual deductible with the Innovative G? $257. What's their max out of pocket after an 80/20 co-insurance? It's right over $2,000. So this is a great plan for current clients on a high deductible plan, because long term, they're going to get a discounted G for life. And then the final thing, probably something that we all know as insurance agents that we should be doing, but not all of us are the best at it, is this thing called fact finding, right? Doing some type of needs analysis. And so here's one thing I would challenge you to add to your needs analysis when it comes to who to position the Innovative G with. And that is, do you have an HSA account? HSA, Health Savings Account. Clients that have an HSA on average have about $6,000 in that account. What can they use their HSA account for? Well, during retirement, they can keep their HSA and they can use it for deductibles and co-insurance. So if they have an HSA account, then they can leverage that HSA if they do have health expenses during that elimination time frame and lock in a lower G plan for life. So that wraps up the Innovative G. I will tell you, I'm going to be emailing Allison a very short video about the Innovative G that she can share with everyone on the line, because sometimes this Innovative G, because it is different, sometimes it's like 1 or 2 times for it to click. And so I would challenge you, when you get that video of the Innovative G, it's about 12 minutes. Watch that video, because I think this product is something that we have to start thinking about in this industry to be able to, number one, allow clients to lock in lower rates for life. Number two, I think it's great for agents to stand out in a crowded market. Many of you are probably sitting down with clients today that know way more than clients when I started in the industry 12 years ago. When I started in the industry 12 years ago and I'd sit down with Dorothy, very few of them knew what a G plan was. They didn't know what an N plan was. They didn't know what a high deductible G. Today, I think consumers are way more in the know. And so this product, being able to position an Innovative G, a patented product, allows you to stand out in this very crowded marketplace. And again, what does this product do? It drives loss ratio down, which allows us to have lower rate increases in the future. So it's a win-win all the way around. Now, no matter what product you sell, okay, whether you sell a high deductible G, an Innovative G, no matter what product you sell, built into all of our policies nationwide, we have this benefit. So this is called a 2-year selection guarantee. What does that mean? Within the first 2 years of owning any of our policies, a client can switch up or down in coverage without underwriting. No other carrier has any benefit like this. And so it really makes us distinct, and it allows your clients to feel comfortable no matter which direction they go on a Medicare supplement. Then discounts. So 2 major discounts I want to talk about with our MedSup portfolio in your state. Number one is we have a household discount, which basically means they're going to get a 10% discount if they can answer yes to one of these 2 questions. Number one, are you married? Number two, do you have a roommate that is 60 plus? So if they can answer yes to one of those 2, that is why it's a household discount, not a married discount. They just have to have one person applying and answer yes to one of those 2 questions. They'll get a 10% discount. The second discount is we can do a $5 a month discount. So every month they can take $5 off their premium. If the client wants to do ABW, automatic bank withdrawal, we'll take $5 a month off. This is really exciting. So in your state, if a client wants to get a Medicare supplement, they can add for an additional $9.53, they can add the Preventive Benefits Plus rider. What does that do? Number one, it fills in the gaps of Medicare's preventive benefits. So when we think about original Medicare, which I'm a huge fan of, there are certain things that if the doctor codes it preventive, Medicare won't pay. And if Medicare doesn't pay, the Medicare supplement won't pay. This fills in that gap. We'll pay an unlimited amount on our preventive care. It's defined as an innovative benefit. Why? Because this goes above and beyond the standard benefits, and this is unique to Physicians Mutual. And then we have Silver and Fit. So over 15,000 fitness centers, including many YMCAs, are built into the standard benefit for Silver and Fit, so they get a free gym membership. Now, there are some gyms that we would call premium fitness centers, like a UFC gym, certain other gyms that are premium where your clients get discounts up to 50%. They have daily classes on social media and free at-home kits. So let's talk a little bit about preventive, because I think this builds a massive value proposition. So I want to take a minute and talk about physicals. Did you know that an annual physical is not covered by original Medicare? So that means there are no Medicare supplements on the market right now that will pay for a true annual physical. True annual physicals are really going to range between $360 to $960, and so you're looking at a value there of $30 to $80 per month. There's also things like lifeline screenings for early detection of heart attack and stroke, thermography, which is early detection of breast cancer. These things are things that Medicare just doesn't cover, that your clients can take advantage of. So that way, not only are they saving money because they get to have these procedures, but they get to have these procedures. So what do I mean by that? Early detection is critical, so clients can have a longer life expectancy, so clients can have a better quality of life, and clients can have more time with their family. So this is just a simple example. This is a bill sent to Medicare, and Medicare does not pay for this item or service. Routine examinations covered are not covered. And so this is the blood work that comes with any true annual physical your client would have. And probably an annual physical that they've been having for the past 40 years through their insurance. And this is something they can continue to have with Physicians Mutual. And again, the price of this is about $700. So if you think about the cost of this rider, it's $9.53. So just going and getting an annual physical alone pays for this benefit. And so here's the next one. We talk about lifeline screenings. Lifeline screenings, again, scan for stroke, heart attack, and really anything under the sun. Okay, a lifeline screening is usually around $300. This is a letter from an agent or from a client. Let me rephrase that. This is from a client to an agent. Why? Because this agent recommended, hey, get the preventive benefit, go get a lifeline screening every year. So it says, thanks for your advice on taking advantage of lifeline screenings. This may have saved my life. Why? They found out they had an abnormal aortic aneurysm in their belly that could have burst and caused a stroke and taken his life. Again, this is a life-saving benefit. And also, we have clients more than ever that are looking for holistic health, that are looking at being able to not only to survive during retirement, but thrive during retirement. And this really gives them that ability. Again, the cost of this, about $400 for a lifeline screening. Next, Silver and Fit. So again, this goes back to this overall concept of wellness for our clients and making Medicare supplements more competitive in the overall market. So we cover right over 16,000 gyms in the standard fitness network. So gyms like LA Fitness, Anytime Fitness, Gold's Gym. One of our agents in San Antonio, Texas, about a month ago, was sitting down with a client. The client had just gotten a Gold's Gym membership that was going to be about $40, $45. And he was ecstatic that he could actually run his gym membership through his Medicare supplement. So he was going to be able to get a Medicare supplement, and that was going to pay for his Gold's Gym membership. Then Silver and Fit, Also, premium fitness centers. Again, these are things like Orange Theory. I don't know how many of our clients are going to go to a UFC gym, Camp Gladiator, which is big here in Texas. And these are gyms that are usually over $100, but these discounts at premium fitness centers are usually close to 50%. And then a free gift. So every single year, because we have Silver and Fit, they're going to send them a free gift with their Medicare supplement. Garmins, which are usually retail for $60 to $70, Fitbits, and then these strength training kits. So another kind of cool benefit. Wrapping up the subject of Medicare supplements. One thing to keep in mind if you're writing business with Physicians Mutual is that every single month you're eligible for a bonus. We pay $200 per underwritten Medicare supplement. Our Innovative G, again, this product that has a disappearing deductible with a lifetime discount on open enrollment, we pay $150 on Innovative Gs. And our Medicare supplement bonuses stay the same throughout the year. You'll see an increase during AEP, but you're not going to see our bonuses go up and down when it comes to a MedSup bonus throughout the year. They're going to stay level, and then during AEP, you're just going to maximize your compensation. So this is kind of the last screen on Medicare supplements. Any questions from the group on the Medicare supplement, from Preventive Benefits Plus Rider to the Innovative G concept?
Well, I will tell you there's nothing in the chat box.
Okay. Perfect. Well, what we'll do is we'll move through to dental. So dental, let's talk about that for a minute. And if anybody does have questions on MedSups, we can always circle back. So dental, so we have no deductible on our dental. We have no annual or lifetime max. And so what does that mean? What I will tell you is, number one, this makes us different than every other dental carrier in the marketplace. Every other dental plan has an annual and plus sometimes a lifetime max. So what does that mean? So I'll tell you, we'll walk through the benefit levels that we have, but most carriers, when the client goes to the dentist, the dental insurance is going to pay anywhere between 30 to 70% when it comes to benefits. And every carrier out there, not only do they have a percentage of what they're going to pay, but they have a max that they're going to pay per year. Many carriers, that max can be as low as $1,500. And this is where a lot of clients, and especially agents that I talk to, see dental insurance being devalued. Because when the client really needs dental insurance, they need a full set of dentures that's going to be over $10,000. They have multiple crowns that need to be put in, that $8,000 to $10,000. They're being capped out of around $1,500 to $5,000 when it comes to their benefits. What's so special about our dental plan is that it's got no annual or lifetime max. We cover 100% of preventive, which is where most carriers are moving towards. The reason we want to do this is because when a client goes to the dentist and goes and gets their first cleaning and exam and x-ray and all that good stuff, we want them to feel good about going and getting that dental work done so they keep going, right? Because if they get hit with a bill every time they go to the dentist, they're going to want to stop going to the dentist, and we don't want that. Preventive and basic care. So what is basic care? Things like tooth extractions, fillings, anything to do with cavities. That's going to fall under basic care. So both of these are going to start day one, and then we do have a 12-month waiting period on major benefits. So here are the plans. So we start our plans as low as $30. So for $30, a client can get an economy plan. So basically for $1 a day, the client can get dental insurance in place. Then what 67% of consumers buy is this Premier plan. The Premier plan pays 70% on major, 70% on basic, and 100% on preventive. What I will tell you is if you look at this benefit, 70% on major, 70% on basic, at this price point, you're not going to see that value really with any carrier across the industry. On top of that, the fact that we have no annual or lifetime max really makes us distinct. And then the next thing that every agent wants to know when I show them this dental plan, because they always have to, there's always a question of like, well, what's the downside, right? What's the downside of this plan? The question that always comes up is network. And so what the exciting thing is when it comes to our network is we have one of the largest networks nationwide. We have over 600,000 providers. We use the Emeritus network that gives clients an upfront discount. So before we even talk about what we pay, 70% on major, 70% on basic, going in network, which is a PPO, so you can go in or out of network, but going in networks gives clients an additional 30 to 40% discount. And then on top of that, we can add a rider on our dental. So we don't have a standalone vision and hearing, but for only an additional $895, they can add vision and hearing insurance. So they can get $100 towards an eye exam, $150 towards vision correction. So this is glasses, sunglasses, contact lenses. And then on the ears, we're looking at $75 per year for a hearing exam, and then $500 per hearing aid per ear every 5 years. So every 5 years, they basically have $1,000 towards hearing aids every 5 years when it comes to this additional $895. So wrapping this thing up, one final thing I want to say when it comes to our dental insurance, and this is just really across the board. As agents, one of the important things when it comes to maximizing our relationships with our clients and then also maximizing our compensation is the ability to cross-sell. Because what we find out is the more products you can help your client with, the longer they're going to be with you long term. And so our dental is probably one of the easiest and best products to put in your bag for cross-sell purposes. And you can cross-sell our dental with a Medicare Advantage plan. You can cross-sell our dental with a MedSup. You can cross-sell our dental if you're in the ACA market because we can sell our dental insurance at any age. Okay. And here is the easiest and the best way that I've seen working with thousands of agents nationwide. And it's shocking because usually I'll give this tip and usually within a week, someone actually implements the tip and then they call me and they always say this, it works. I had someone last year call me and all he said was, it works. And I was like, what are you talking about? Okay. So here's what he did. When you're positioning that MedSup or you're positioning that ACA plan, and you're getting ready to fill out the application, simply ask this question. Would you like this with or without dental? Again, would you like this MedSup, this ACA plan, this MA, with or without dental? What we see is a 70% close rate at minimum with that question. And the reason being is if you think about it, again, 3 out of 4 Americans are on a health insurance max out-of-pocket plan. Usually when they're with their employer, right, and they're selecting their benefits, they have 3 to 4 health insurance options. And how many dental options do they have? Like 1. And a screen just comes up when they're going through selecting their benefits through their employer, and it says, do you want dental insurance, yes or no? Okay. And so the logic around I'm getting my health insurance, the natural next question is, do I want dental? And it's framed up in a yes or no concept. And so there's a certain level of programming that clients have had throughout their career. Now, when they say yes, usually I'm just going to walk them through and show them the 2 extremes. We can start with a dental plan as low as $30, where you're going to have 100% on preventive. Or 67% of our clients go with the Premier and just walk through the base of benefits. So 70, 70, 100. And it's really that simple. I've even heard agents say that it's very similar to if you go to McDonald's, right? If I order a cheeseburger at McDonald's, what are they going to say? Do you want fries with that? And so this is just that natural concept of that additional add-on that they're already programmed to get next. Once they get their health insurance, they're going to add their dental insurance. All you have to do is ask. And you'll see at least a 70% close rate on that. So a couple things wrapping up today's call. Definitely I can take questions. I know I sent Allison some information yesterday. One thing that I threw out last time I was on the call with Emmerich is one of the things that we see agents need assistance with is how to acquire more clients, how to get in front of more prospects. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, right? We think about lead generation. We think about networking. We think about referrals. For me personally, the way that I would go about, and this is something I did as an agent, is I would be all about educational seminars. When it comes to Medicare, you can host educational seminars year-round to anyone turning 65. And there's about 10,000 people per day turning 65. And so what we can do at Physicians Mutual is any of us can set up a seminar at a library, at a community center. Again, I don't like restaurants, but if you do, that's okay. But again, I want an educational event. Any of us can do that. But where the rubber meets the road and where the cash is needed is how do I get people in the seats at my seminar? How do I get people in the room? And so what we can do at no cost for you is we can send out postcards inviting them to a Medicare 101 seminar. We can have your face on it, and we can invite them in to meet you, where you can go through an educational approach to educate clients about original Medicare, about the difference between original Medicare and Medicare Advantage. And usually we see about a 70% close rate on clients that show up to our event, usually within 2 to 3 weeks of the event. And so I think we had at least 2 to 3 people qualify. I want to throw out the same concept. If you are interested in this and you want to go out over the next week and write 1 MedSup or 3 dentals, we will pay for your first mailing. And not only will we pay for your first mailing, but as we continue to have production working together, we have some of our agents and they host 5 of these events every single month, and we pay for all 5 of them on a monthly basis. And again, usually the way we set it up, we love libraries and we love community centers because we want people to walk in for an educational purpose, not because I'm offering them a free meal, but because they really want to come in and learn. And usually we're not trying to drive in 30 people in the room. We want to drive in 10. And again, with 10, we're probably going to write about 7 Medicare supplements or 7 products. Again, not all 7 are going to get a MedSup, but for those where it's a good fit, we want to make sure that clients understand what they can get through their benefits through Medicare. So any final questions for me today about Physicians Mutual and what we do?
You know what? It looks like you did an amazing job explaining this. And I got to tell you, I think this is at least my 3rd time hearing it, and I picked up something new. So
Yeah.
It does help hearing it multiple times.
Yeah. And I'll definitely send over, usually what I like to send over after some type of product training like this, again, is that Innovative G video. And also a short dental video. So that way, we can get that out to the agents. They can see it kind of that second time. And again, like you said, it's every time you see it, you start to pick up more and more.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, I will make sure to get that out to everybody.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate everyone's time. I would encourage you that, as you have questions, as you have concerns, one thing that we really pride ourselves on is we want to help you every step of the way. And so if you have a question, don't hesitate to pick up the phone. Give Heather Dozier a call. Give me a call. Shoot us a text. And then if you're in an appointment, I don't know how many times Heather has had an agent call her during an appointment because there's some type of question on the application, there's some type of question about our product, and Heather is available for that at all times. And then on the backside, once that MedSup goes in, we also want to help you make sure that you can track that and that we can make sure if it's an underwritten opportunity that we can help you get that issued. We just want to help you every step of the way. So thank you all so much today. Hope you guys have a great close to the week and a great month. And we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.